So I got you, a nice present, and it says, Spidey on it from Kisame. So Merry Christmas, Evan.
I celebrate Kwanzaa, asshole. Christian. Your Christian ancestors enslaved and forced religion on my ancestors. American bullshit. Seriously. Oh man, I can't wait.
Obviously, Spidey, every single time when I see your backdrop, you have all this shit, but you lack something that I have. You lack props. So now I got you a nice leaping Spider-Man. You can take him out of the box if you You can take him out of the box. You can display him in. It only costs,
NRFB. It's the horse you rode in on. Oh. Take it and shove it. Get the fuck out of here.
Actually, I don't know if you know this, but this is a giraffe, not a horse.
In my country.
Some of them you're going to be like, you don't even play that. Why do you give a shit?
Well, of course, I'm going to be extremely critical of you because you haven't played until a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So anything you say, I'm going to be like, what? What are you talking? You don't even know. I'm going to be a snob. You don't even play.
I don't.
You've never. You don't even like Gravekeepers.
I do.
Oh, here you go. I've always had. Yeah, you're always that guy. I've always had a thing for Gravekeepers.
No, I like Gravekeepers. I just never.
I should have saw this coming with your Banlist Banters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's just...
Right, it was like, Royal Tribute should come back. Like, why does he care?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what I always like? There was one big thing that I never liked about Gravekeepers. They never had a boss monster. I mean, they kind of did, but it was just like, oh, shit. But you see, now they have their fusion that comes on the field that's kind of good. Comes in with 3,300. It does some damage. I look at him, I'm like, you're cool. I even tried Gravekeepers like under the rug. Not for me. Their style is still outside my style of play. But I do appreciate... Because it's very respectful to still see a deck that could play the manner of what I like of just basic control. And just little by little gaining card advantage, which I do really like that the deck can offer. It's just that deck is just like... It's like knowing that a deck's not for you, but you still appreciate it anyway. That's how I look at them. Knowing all their mechanics is not easy. Knowing how that deck runs as a whole is not an easy deck to pick. It's like, in my opinion, it's a good deck, hard to master kind of deck.
I don't play Guardian, so I have a question. Are they versatile?
Can they splash with other things?
Not as in mixable like that. I mean versatile as in like, let's say you have a main move to go to a big monster, but like you get interrupted halfway through that play. Can you like, all right, fuck, I guess I gotta go to this other. I can make up some other play.
It's kind of hard. They kind of can do it, but it's very like, you see, if you let's just say flip something like lose one turn on them, they die. Mm-hmm. They cannot function. And that deck kind of only works with themselves. They can't really take any outside. This means no ass balls, no staples. No, it's mainly just them. But them as a whole...
like super heavy samurai.
Yes, but you see, in my opinion, I think that deck is so fucking good. But the hardest thing to do with Guardians is to... When you have all three of the main guys on the field, you are literally restricted to the point where you can't hardly do anything. Not saying that board is unstoppable, because you could kaiju it. There are ways, but it's like you have Light Flare that could stop a spell or trap card once per turn, like Shien, and when he attacks, or any kind of battle involving a Guardian monster is negated. You get Utopia Lightning right there and then. So if you try to attack me with something, cut off. And it can negate something. And if you knock out Light Flare, Light Flare, I could summon any of the other Guardians from my extra deck to replace him. So he's great in himself. Then you have Light Shower, where Light Shower gives complete immunity. You can't target, you can't use any effects on them, boom. And then lastly, you have Boardfly, which literally is Necro Valley and does piercing to all Guardians. That deck, as a whole, cuts down so many issues.
They sound like the most privileged white neighborhood I've ever heard of.
And you know what?
It's like, we don't let nobody in, but when we're together, we're a force to be reckoned with.
But you see, that deck, it's
we have so much protection.
But the deck has one big weakness now.
Black people.
It's now summoning all of them on the field is almost impossible.
Oh, because they have to go to the extra deck, and because of Master Rule 4, they can't do that anymore. You're like that guy that gets in a relationship and like falls in love in 2 weeks.
Oh, hands down. I'm the type of person where it's like I meet someone and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm gonna get hitched. Everything's there. We're gonna buy a house.
I'm like the opposite. It's like when I meet somebody, I think they're perfect, so I have to find that one flaw. I'm like constantly asking them questions to find that one flaw. Like, I knew you wasn't perfect. I'm out of here.
Yeah. You see, for me, it's like after like 2 weeks and then like shit starts going downhill. I'm like, what's wrong with you? What did you do to us?
You know what's crazy? When shit goes wrong, I'm like, what's wrong with me?
I don't do that.
I'm not.
No, I look at the other person. You.
And I'm on the other side. Me.
No, because the thing is that I'm like the opposite. I'm like, I'm perfect, so it's not the person that's not me.
Well, I'm fucking.
Alright, but yeah, going back to my original point, I was gonna say that for me at least.
Yeah, I'm filled with Thunder Dragons. Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, with me with Thunder Dragons, I look at them like this. It's like, from what I see, I mean, I like them as a whole. I think they're fine. I mean, mixing them with like a deck like Prank Kids, they were just fun.
They have such an easy engine and easy access to their action deck. You can almost splash them with anything.
Yeah,
it's not too.
But it has to be still have like some kind of thunder relationship in it.
Any thunder monster. Yeah.
But you see, for me, it's like
makes battery men.
I mean, I'm just saying, I like it. It's one of those things where it's like you like it using it, but you hate facing it. That's how I feel with it. That's what I said in the last video about them.
I never hate facing them. I mean, I understand.
I hate facing them. I don't fucking like it.
I mean, I can understand why somebody does because they do cut you off from certain plays and everything like that. And their monsters are really big and they're easy to get on the board, but they're fairly easy to prevent.
The Cosmic Neos. I'm gonna say this. In my opinion, I have never picked them up. I've never used Neospatians. You know that once that shit came out a long time ago in GX Land.
He was like, this is shit!
And I gave you all my cards. I was like, here's the heroes. I'm off. Goodbye. And then you were like, alright.
Yeah, I was dumbass me.
Yeah.
I'll try them out. What's going on? I like the little cat, Panther Man.
But you see, for me, it was like
Elemental Hero, Black Panther, Neos.
It's one of those decks where I have like almost no interest in ever like touching it or testing it.
So how is this a favorite?
Because I like seeing it. I like facing it. I think it's interesting.
You've been against it?
Yeah, I've faced it a few times.
And they summon that shit, Cosmic Neos, on you?
I faced it.
You must suck.
Well, I don't really play.
Yeah, you summon a fucking Cosmic Neos on me, I'm gonna like really take a step back and be like, what did I do wrong where he was able to get that on the fucking field?
Well, not all of us, Evan, stun our opponent and basically never let a single other person get a move off. You see, I'm a respectful person. I bring out my play,
if you're not
you bring out
any
your play.
disruptors in your deck, you're in it.
No, I play my strike. This keeps going back to like I play a strike, Evan, or two. Now you see, it's just one of those things where it's like I admire it from
a trap card.
Yeah, I play trap cards. I kind of liked Fluffles from the beginning of Arc V. I liked Sora, and I just liked that deck as a whole.
I've always hated Fluffles.
Yeah.
If I would have done a most hated list of 2017, Fluffles would have been my number 8.
It's not so bad.
I wrote it out. Who would have been my deck? It would have been number 8, only because that deck sucks and people can continue to use it at that point in time.
I mean, it's
glad it's dead.
Not really. You see, there's one big thing of why I won't bring back Fluffles, at least at the moment, because I have something else fairly similar.
Prank Kids?
I didn't want you to say it.
You play Prank Kids, it's not a secret.
They're on the list. That's why.
I'm sure they're on the list. I'm sure people are going to hear the decks that you play at some point. Wow. Constella's is going to pop up somewhere. Nobody's going to flip their wing. What?
Now, for me, it's like, now we're getting into...
So that means you like what you're doing with that shit.
Yes, I do.
You're one of those.
I like attacking directly, popping, bouncing, setting.
So how about this? So okay. I need help understanding this, because you're the type of person, and you say this, these are your words. I hate stun. I hate holding my opponent down, and then, just fucking them, you can't do anything. Altergeist does that, but that's not my issue. The attacking directly part, that's such a bitch move. Only
Why?
bitch ass monsters do that. I should do a top 10 bitch ass monsters. Who are the top 10? Like Jinzo number 5. Like Uguchi would be on that fucking list. And that little falcon one that does the fucking Altergeist falcon nigga that looks like a bird.
The bouncer.
Yeah, who attacks directly.
He don't attack directly. The mermaid attacks directly.
They all look like garbage.
Wow.
I don't know what you want me to say.
I mean, because you know.
How do you feel about attacking directly? You like that?
Yeah, it's like 500 attack points. How does that matter? How is that
You don't
even...
feel dirty.
Oh.
It's like, hey, you got shit on the field? I don't care. Attack directly.
Listen, I'm from the kind of person where it's like, where I play these a lot of the time, and then I'm just like, I pick up the thing and I'm just like,
that's different.
And then I'm just like, now, boom.
Yeah, that's different. Because see, you use an effect. You're like, oh, here's an effect. I'm going to move you out the way, so fuck you. Now you're wide open. Instead of like, hey, you got all that stuff there? Step right over.
I don't think that's something that bothers me. I never liked Exodia. I never really cared for traditional burn. I was alright with traditional burn. Then they made chain burn. I wasn't really that kind. I didn't like tricksters.
You've always liked nurse burn.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Because I think that they do it in a respectful way. Original burn was very like, don't touch me.
I'm gonna blow!
No, it's like gravity bind, level limit, area B, battle fader.
Solar flare dragon.
Whoa! That's how the old burn reminds me of.
Whoa!
And then chain burn was very like, alright, do what you want. And then you're like, alright, I got this, I got that. Alright, I'm gonna push for... I went, well, that's not my taste. And you see, as for tricksters are just like... 34 balls! It's like, that's how tricksters are.
It's funny because you was doing that and I was like, that's like Neji's move. Then you started saying it.
I have to like
obviously.
But you see, like I said, with my whorehouse, this may be time for Nurse to come back around, and,
it's their season.
Yeah, to be a cunt, to be a little bitch whore. So it's like
I can only imagine what number 2 is. Zodiac.
It's a deck that I am not playing right now.
You've always liked DDD, so
because you know how beautiful that deck plays. Imagining a deck that could summon all the mechanics of Yu-Gi-Oh! In a perfect synergy circle like that deck can is just like... It's perfect.
Sounds confusing.
It is. It's one of those decks, in my opinion, it's a hard deck to master, but a great deck overall, if you know how to play it right.
I think it depends on your build. You have to build the perfect build.
It's just, in my opinion, and I say this to be honest, I don't think I have the mentality to play that deck in the right way, because it's very hard to master. I would have to really practice with that deck to get the exact synergy for it, but because everything has to just summon off of each other just to bring it all back, to summon it again, to summon this a really big beat stick board that can negate a lot. And I look at that deck and it's just so refreshing to see every mechanic. You see, they made a link for them, perfect, summons the scales immediately. You have, like, being able to pendulum, XYZ, synchro, everything.
I feel like any deck that's good at everything can't be great at anything.
Exactly. But they break that formula. It was so refreshing to bump into a deck that did nothing but complement Constellars. Obviously, if you want to take Mech Knights and go down a professional road, you're going to mix them with fucking Invokes, or you're going to mix them with something else of better value than the Constellars.
Mech Knights are cool. I like Mech Knights.
But the thing I like about Constellars mixed with Mech Knights is that Constellars really need their normal summon. In my opinion, Crusaders and my Constellar Mech Knight deck are so similar. Because both Crusaders and my deck both use the Kaijus. But they use the Kaijus, to summon a card to make, your main Crusader gain all that attack points and just slam. And then they use the Mech Knights for extra, extra options and versatility. Same as me. The difference is instead of the Crusaders, I play the Constellars. Knowing that Mech Knights were able to complement me with Blue Sky being a level 5 light monster is perfect. Purple Nightfall is also a great card. Being able to give me a fucking link that I have never tapped before in my life. I needed a link for that deck to be functionable, Evan. And they gave it to me. They gave me a link.
The Mac Knight link?
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave me a link from Mike and Stella's. Oh, Mac Knight monster.
Well, at least he's versatile with me. Prank Kids was the deck that brought me back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And that deck, like, honestly, that deck really stood out. That was a fucking heavy hitter deck for me. That
It does
deck,
a lot.
That deck was a fucking home run. And you know what I love about that deck?
Does that deck playstyle remind you of Cardians? And that's maybe why you liked it so much?
No. Cardians is a very hit and miss deck. If you don't draw the right kind of hand, you're fucked. However, they remind me more of Fluffles than anything else. They remind me a lot of Fluffles. But you know what I
hate
love?
playstyles like that.
But you know what I love about that deck?
Nothing.
I mean, the fucked up thing is that they play during your opponent's turn, which I know you don't like. But the thing that I value so much about that deck is that they are just... When I first picked it up, I always like to do the 10 duel ratio.
Yes.
I like to have 10 duels.
Yeah. See how they do out of 10. Yes.
Yeah. When I first picked up that deck, I lost 9 out of 10 games. I won 1 game.
We heard this story.
And I was just like, fuck. But I kept going because I liked them. And then it's like, it did like a complete fucking 180 once I got it.
Months later, now I'm 4 out of 10.
It changed. But the thing is with me is
Hashtag progress.
Well, that deck now, I look at it, you see, for me, it's like right now, out of all the decks that I'm currently using in today's game, I look at Prank Kids, and I took the deck, and I threw it to the side. I was like, I do not need to look at you no more. Because right now, you are a standalone solid deck of mine. You I do not need to focus on anymore. You are perfect. I gotta throw you out whenever I want, whenever, and I know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
I look at Altergeist now, and I'm just like, you and me need a duel. But every time when I duel people quit. And it's like, how do I learn when everyone leaves?
So, yeah, don't forget to like the video, comment down below your thoughts on this top 10, and suggestions for future top 10s. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. And if you're old, click that bell for notification. That way you're always updated once we upload a video to this channel.